The journey did not begin with a step, but with a question that echoed in the quiet hollows of the soul. Ilyas sat by the window as the world grew still, feeling a subtle tug toward a truth he could not yet name. It is said that, verily, in the remembrance of Allah do hearts find rest. He realized that his restlessness was not a burden, but a compass pointing toward a forgotten home. He began to look at the world with new eyes, seeking the signs written into the tapestry of creation. From the intricate veins of a leaf to the rhythmic pulse of the tides, he saw the ayat, the verses of the divine manifested in matter. He understood that to submit was not to lose oneself, but to find one's place within the cosmic harmony designed by the Al-Khaliq, the Creator. Seeking clarity, Ilyas sought the company of those whose hearts were anchored in wisdom. He met Hakim, a man whose presence felt like a calm harbor. They sat amidst towers of books and the scent of aged parchment. Hakim told him that the path of the seeker is paved with sincerity and that Allah does not look at your forms or your wealth, but He looks at your hearts and your deeds. The moment of transition arrived like a sunrise. To become a Muslim was to bear witness, the Shahada. With Hakim as his witness, Ilyas spoke the words, "There is no deity but Allah, and Muhammad is his messenger." As the syllables left his lips, he felt a weight dissolve, replaced by a profound clarity. He was no longer a stranger to himself. He was a servant of the Most Merciful. Then came the washing, the ghusl, and the wudu. Water cascaded over his skin, but the true cleansing was internal. It was a symbolic shedding of the past, a ritual of renewal that mirrored the Prophet's teaching that purity is half of faith. With every drop, Ilyas felt the dust of old regrets being carried away, leaving his spirit polished and bright. He learned to stand, to bow, and to prostrate, the salat. This was the conversation between the servant and the Lord. In the sujud, with his forehead touching the earth, Ilyas felt the paradox of faith, that the lowest point of the body is the highest point of the soul. In that silence, the distance between the heavens and the earth vanished. Faith, he discovered, was not a solitary peak, but a shared garden. He walked into the mosque and felt the warmth of the Ummah. He met Karim, who greeted him with a smile that carried no judgment. They stood shoulder to shoulder in prayer, a mosaic of different lives united by a single direction, embodying the hadith that, quote, "The believers are like a single body." The path called for more than ritual. It demanded a transformation of character. Ilyas learned the weight of zakat and the beauty of sadaqah, charity that purifies the soul. He visited the outskirts of the city and met Zahra, an elder whose strength was hidden in her fragility. To serve her was to serve his Creator, for heaven lies at the feet of the mothers. The Quran became his constant companion, a healing and a mercy for the believers. He spent his nights tracing the calligraphy of the divine word, finding that every verse was a doorway. He realized that Islam was not a destination he had reached, but a journey of continuous ihsan, the striving for excellence in every thought, word, and action. As a new dawn broke, Ilyas stood upon a high hill, looking out at the horizon. He was a Muslim, one who submits to the peace of God. The steps he had taken were only the beginning of a lifelong ascent. He smiled, knowing that whoever takes one step toward the divine comes to them at a running pace. The light was no longer outside of him. It was the way he now walked.